This did nobody ask, did nobody check him for no steroid? I said, he had quick hands, he would hit. I said, why y'all ain't checking for steroid? He ain't checking steroid. And then...
You think he was on steroids?
Of course he was on steroid.
What we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids.
Responsible for the performance-enhancing drugs that are being used by fighters that fought in his gym. Specifically, off the top of my head, you have Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez had popped for
Boxing legend Evander Holyfield has stirred up major controversy by questioning Canelo Alvarez's possible use of performance-enhancing substances. With tensions building ahead of the Canelo versus Terence Crawford showdown, Holyfield's bold comments have sparked heated debate and speculation across the boxing world.
Mexican boxing fights of all time, in my opinion. Yeah. So I feel like I'm 100% confident in myself. If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me. Especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means including him, so he never got off steroids.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. How does five?
You saw De La Hoya call him out.
How do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. You know what I mean? No, all those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
Although Holyfield didn't outright accuse Canelo of using banned substances, he has long advocated for stricter punishments for fighters who test positive. Back in 2018, following Alvarez's positive test for clenbuterol, Holyfield suggested that athletes caught using PEDs should serve jail time, even recommending a 30-day sentence for offenders.
Alvarez failed a drug test before his big Triple G fight in May, and he's blaming Mexican cows. All right, here's the deal. 2 months until the rematch with Gennady Golovkin on May 5th is going to be the big fight, and he's been taking drug tests leading up to the fight, standard operating procedure. This time he popped for a substance called clenbuterol, which is a banned substance. As a matter of fact, it helps you cut weight. A lot of people use it illegally, cut weight while maintaining muscle mass. He is saying he did not cheat. He's not a cheater. I did not intentionally take clenbuterol. Problem is, I've been training in Mexico and eating contaminated cow beef. That's what he's saying. There's a problem apparently in Mexico where some of the cattle are being injected with clenbuterol, which helps cows. It's illegal in the United States, but some places outside the United States, even some places in the United States, will use clenbuterol to grow bigger cows, to up the protein content in the meat. And he's saying that what he had was contaminated meat, because his training center is in Mexico and there's a problem with Mexican meat down there. He even issued a statement saying, quote, "I'm an athlete who respects the sport and this surprises me and bothers me because it had never happened to me. I will submit to all the tests that require me to clarify this embarrassing situation, and I trust in the end the truth will prevail." So far, the fight with Gennady Golovkin is still on. He's still dead set on making that fight.
Floyd Mayweather has also criticized what he sees as a double standard in boxing when it comes to steroid use, especially in Canelo's case. Mayweather argues that while some fighters face harsh public scrutiny, others, due to their popularity and marketability, are treated with leniency. He claims this favoritism damages the sport's credibility, allowing certain boxers to escape accountability. Mayweather stresses that PED use is not only cheating, but also a serious health risk.
What we don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. Y'all don't talk about that. So we really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights. Canelo, and the list goes on and on about athletes that's been cheating.
Been accused of cheating or been proven?
No, been proven too.
This been proven.
Yeah. Oh, well, Canelo. Oh shit.
This been proven.
Lance Armstrong.
Okay.
And then Canelo talking about it was the steak that it was the meat that he was eating. So okay, now you eating. I guess you're eating steroid cows. Man, these boys kill me.
Recently, David Benavidez accused Canelo and his entire camp of using banned substances. He questioned why Alvarez would avoid fighting him if he were truly confident, especially considering the multiple failed drug tests connected to Canelo's team. Benavidez's remarks have added more fuel to their already intense rivalry, branding Canelo's camp as dirty in light of past doping controversies.
When the greatest Canelo came out, the one that you guys seen that fought Triple G the first time, bro, dude popped dirty for clenbuterol, bro. Why do you think the second fight didn't happen? So, for me, seeing that was the best Canelo I've ever seen. But that was Canelo off steroids. Everybody else that he fought Amir Khan, he fought Daniel Jacobs, he fought, what the f is his name, Billy Joe Saunders, Caleb Plant. These guys are all weak, bro. So for me, that's why I feel like I see Canelo Alvarez and I see like, he's not as good as everybody thinks. Because the best one that fought Golovkin that first time was off clenbuterol. That was the best Canelo I've ever seen, and that's why he looked so good, because he was off clenbuterol. So with the Canelo, he even got suspended for like 7 months.
So it's guaranteed he was
guaranteed he took it. He said that he ate meat that was tainted in Mexico.
Now, let me ask you that question.
I've talked to people. They said for him to test positive off a piece of meat, he would have.
Eddie Reynoso's gym has been under scrutiny for several doping-related controversies involving fighters he trains. Notably, Alvarez himself has faced allegations in the past. Critics highlight that multiple boxers from Reynoso's stable have tested positive for banned substances, raising concerns about the gym's training environment and oversight. With Canelo now preparing for Crawford,
faced serious accusations about his gym. And the accusations are that people, or at least the implications are, that he is the one that is providing performance-enhancing drugs or is in some way responsible for the performance-enhancing drugs that are being used by fighters that fought in his gym. Specifically, off the top of my head, you have Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez had popped for clenbuterol 2 times. For Fahim Satur, I'll say that he did it 2 times, even though I think it was for the same fight. But Canelo Alvarez popped dirty for clenbuterol 2 times. You have Luis Nery, who had tested positive, but I think Luis Nery tested positive before he was with Eddie Reynoso. Then you have Ryan Garcia, who popped dirty after he left Eddie Reynoso and went over to Derek James. And then you have Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez popped dirty while he was with Eddie Reynoso, but at the time he was still allowed to fight. You also clearly see that you have an issue with the fight that's coming up with Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, in that you have one guy that tested positive and you have another guy that looks like he's using in order to get up and continue to climb up weight classes. You know, at a certain point in time, and this is something that Rolly Romero has said, certain point in time, your body just doesn't do that. At a certain point in time, your body just doesn't do it. I'm 6'2", 200, and should weigh about 210. Closer to 250, but I should weigh about 210. I'm not gonna get up. If I was 210 now at 50.
Many boxing experts point out that building significant muscle mass naturally in one's 30s is challenging. Yet Canelo Alvarez's noticeably larger physique compared to past years has sparked suspicion, given Reynoso's camp's history with doping cases. This transformation has become a talking point. The repeated connections between fighters from that gym and failed tests have kept doubts alive about its training practices.
Muscle as if I'm juicing. If for a 30-year-old, right, you remember, your body grows, men's body can grow in height and length up until to the extreme in your 20s. By the time you're 20, your height and all that stuff is there, right? Your height and your length. In your mid-20s, you know, by the time you're 29, your musculature is pretty much there. It gets harder to gain and put on muscle after 30.
On a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan revisited Alvarez's clenbuterol case and the ongoing debate over his physique and performance. He stressed the importance of transparency in boxing and the need for fighters to uphold the sport's integrity. As Canelo readies for Crawford, Rogan's remarks have reignited speculation. Many fans recalling Alvarez's prior suspension for PD use see the new allegations as consistent with past incidents.
What up, everybody? It's your boy MC from MCTV. I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo Alvarez is on steroids right now as we speak and is going to be fully juiced with something that hasn't even hit the market yet. Think about it. He's pretty much a billionaire. He has access.
Holyfield has also expressed admiration for Terence Crawford's exceptional skill set, praising his power, adaptability, and ability to switch seamlessly between orthodox and southpaw stances. This versatility, Holyfield notes, forces opponents to constantly adjust, making Crawford unpredictable and dangerous. He likened this adaptability to life's constant need for change, underscoring Crawford's sharp reflexes and tactical intelligence.
Left-handed or right, how do you deal with someone like that?
Well, I don't know. Did nobody switch up on me a lot, so it's hard for me to say. But I know Life is about adjustment. You have to make adjustment. To be successful, adjustment is always gonna be the difference between how far you gonna go.
And this is the last one, because I just thought of something. Obviously, Fury Usyk, a lot of people are talking about for Undisputed. You know, you were a smaller guy, and you almost beat, a lot of people thought you beat Nikolai Valuev, who's even taller. Even taller than Tyson Fury. How does a small guy Usyk defeat a tall guy like Tyson?
Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, remains confident in their fight plan. He says their preparation has been thorough and strategic, acknowledging Canelo's strengths, but believing that Crawford's adaptability and ring IQ will be the key to overcoming a naturally bigger opponent.
Confident that he's going to get the victory. Second of all, I'm just happy for him and the team. So, you know, the world can see once again why he's considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
There was many a time where he was maybe struggling to get certain fights, and then he had to almost kick that door down. Isn't it nice to see him sort of getting the fruits of his labour now and getting that generational wealth off the back of what is, obviously it's a hard career boxing, you don't get given anything.
Definitely that. Definitely good to see him get, like you say, fruits of his wealth. Get me fights that, again, will show the world why he's the best fighter in the world. Show the world why he's the best fighter in the world. I'm just happy for him, man.
Nico Ali Walsh, grandson of Muhammad Ali, has shared insights into Crawford's training camp. He revealed that Crawford has been sparring with much larger fighters to prepare for Canelo's size and strength. This approach shows Crawford's commitment to adjusting his conditioning and techniques for the super middleweight division, ensuring he's ready for the unique challenges Canelo presents.
People with Canelo before Canelo's last fight, but then after Canelo's last fight, it seems like it's more 50-50 now. So everything is just the build-up for that fight is just going to be absolutely magnetizing. Like that fight, it's garnered so much more buzz after Canelo's last fight, and Bud is Bud. He's one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. He is one of the greatest fighters in boxing history. So it's going to be a fight. It's going to be awesome to watch.
Have you sparred any of them?
I haven't sparred Bud yet. I haven't been in Canelo's camp. I've met Canelo a few times. I love Canelo's team. Canelo's one of my favorite fighters. He's been